I mean, unless you're really up close, I mean, because with an arena, when you're in the back, you're up high. With an amphitheater, if you're in the back, you're just a long way away from the show. There you go. My name is Fletch Good. I'm from North Carolina. My first Rush show was in '92. I saw them on the Roll the Bones show, tour, whatever. I had actually in the past year before that, I'd been getting into progressive rock in general, which started with Yes, Genesis, ELP, and that sort of thing. I had a bunch of friends who had all their albums, so I would go through and listen to their whole catalog from start to finish. And then when Roll the Bones came out, I had a friend who had all those CDs, so I listened to all of Rush's catalog, start to finish. And by the time I got done with that was when they came to play where I was at Carolina in college. They came to play the basketball arena there, which was the first time they ever done that. So it was pretty cool because it was a small arena, about 20,000 people. Gosh, what do I remember from the first show?
The ride there?
Well, I walked because, believe it or not, I lived right through. There were a whole bunch of woods right behind the arena, and I lived on the other side of the woods in a little neighborhood that had a bunch of apartments and stuff. So I was able to walk to that concert, and I was going with a friend of mine who was a roommate from a couple years before. Actually, the guy I borrowed all those CDs from, he actually managed to bring in a Walkman recorder and taped the concert. And where we were sitting, where our seats were, it's like you have the floor in front of you, and we were on that first level of bleachers or seats or whatever on the side, and about halfway back from the stage, with the stage on the right, the back of the arena on the left, and that was the first tour that they had done. The speaker setups where they had them at the front of the arena and at the back. So especially like on the drum solo, we got some amazing stereo separation. In terms of for bootleg quality.
Remember what the drums look like?
I remember being surprised that he only had one bass drum.
That too.
I mean, it was the kind of thing where I always buy a tour book for every show that I go to as long as they have one.
Sure.
So I read that while we were waiting for the show. Oh, and you know what? Now I forgot that the opening band on that was Primus, and I was into them in terms of the kind of music they did, but I hadn't bought any of their stuff. I didn't really know any of the material. And I remember that I really enjoyed their set, but at the same time, after a while, I realized, a lot of this is sort of the same, and a lot of it seemed to be just basically the, what's his name, the bassist? Do you remember?
Les Claypool.
Les Claypool. It seemed like just basically the Les Claypool show. Just, okay, what the hell can this guy do on a bass next, But anyway, so never mind that. I think they started with Force 10, which was one of my favorite songs at that point and still is. So that it was basically the show started with a high note and just went on from there.
That's very cool.
I remember there was a medley with Xanadu and Superconductor, which I thought was a little odd, but it still sounded good. I love the medley at the end with all the old material.
Right. Do you remember buying your shirt and your program and looking at all of the stuff that was there and anything special?
I bought
hanging out with someone you may have gone with.
Well, my roommate my ex-roommate who had gone with me. I remember that I bought of course I brought the program because I was reading in that about how Neil had decided that he wasn't going to use two bass drums anymore.
Right.
And I bought a pin that had the Roll the Bones album cover on it, but I didn't buy a shirt because I was not into buying shirts back then. In fact, actually, I still, for the most part, am not. But I think I also bought the poster.
You must have a favorite shirt, one that you do have. That's,
believe it or not of Rush. I have one.
It's a Yes shirt. Right?
Yes, it is. It's a Yes shirt.
Excellent.
I have an excellent Yes shirt that combines like 3 different album covers. But no, I only have one Rush shirt, and that's from the Vapor Trails tour. But I always buy the tour books and a pin if I can. I remember actually they had a pin and they had dog tags for the Test for Echo thing. Right. All right, but they were out of every merchandise stand we went to. They were out of the pin and I just kept going all the way around the arena. I had wound up going 360 degrees around the arena before I found one, and it was like the last one that was stuck up on the board. They didn't have any left. I was like, give me that one.
Right.
I'll pay you whatever it is. Just let me have the last one. And so I was able to get it. So,
that's great.
But that tour, the Test for Echo tour, was my favorite show of all the ones that I've seen. And the tour itself, in terms of like the set list, the material that they did, ties for my favorite with the Vapor Trails tour. I thought the set lists on both of those were just really great selections.
Cool.
I really like hearing a balance of material. I really wish that for the 30th anniversary tour they had hit at least one song from every album, but they dropped Presto and they dropped Crest of Steel, which we all know that they don't like anything. They had like an excerpt from Bastille Day, but that was it. But I really like hearing a good balance of material. I like hearing a balance of hits versus obscure stuff, shorter versus longer stuff, older versus newer stuff. I just, give me a smattering.